I can't believe how soppy these giant animals are.
They're not the only soppy ones around here, Kate.
It's true, but there is something just still magnificent, even after all these years, to be able to be so close to a rhino.
But they do need a bit of love. They've had their fair share of ups and downs. Arriving all the way from Africa, you were there, Kate.
I was there, and it was absolutely incredible. And it has to be said that since then, the story of the rhinos has been one drama after another.
Well, the arrival of a newer animal has been even more dramatic and may even eclipse that of the rhino.
Coming up. Oh, careful.
There's a bit of a flap about a house move.
Oh, we get him down in that corner. Nearly had him. Nearly had him.
I give the rhinos some aromatherapy.
Hello, Baboon. Are you feeling in need of calming?
Well, you look very calm. It's obviously working beautifully.
And the lions welcome a new arrival.
Oh, wow. Rachel, you're so calm. I'm stood here shaking.
Carlos, the 7-year-old Kinkaju, is a small but perfectly formed bundle of trouble. The keepers need eyes in the backs of their heads to keep tabs on his mischief-making. But they're hoping that the love of a good woman might just calm down his wicked ways.
Is that nice?
Kinkajus are native to Central and South America. Armed with sharp claws that can scratch, they're arboreal animals custom-built for climbing. Not only do they have long prehensile tails, but their feet can turn backwards, allowing them to run in either direction, up and down branches. But our Carlos is using his unique skill set to escape from his enclosure and keep her Nadia.
This morning we came in and did our morning checks to find that Carlos was not here. The next thing we saw was that there's a big hole just up in the roof space.
The crafty Kinkaju, who lives in the semi-darkness alongside the park's bats, has only made it a few feet from the top of his enclosure. But they assemble a crack team of keepers to try and coax down the elusive escapee.
I think he found a nice warm spot.
People with nets here.
Yeah.
That's it, nice and tight now. Not this way. Not this way.
Hello?
Right, mate. That's enough now. 2 choices. I pick you up. You go on that rope. That's it.
After 20 minutes of failed attempts,
You got him?
it takes all the skill of the park's expert animal catcher, Ryan, to net the naughty runaway.
Just walk him out, walk him out.
It's the 3rd time Carlos has made a break for it, and his urge to escape could put his life in danger. But team manager Kat has hit on the one thing that may just tame the pint-sized tearaway.
We've got Reeva, who is our female Kinkaju. She's 18 months old, and we are going to hopefully introduce her to Carlos. So this is a brand new love story, hopefully ready to happen.
The hope is that chilled-out Reeva will help to calm Carlos down, so he's moving from the bat cave into the enclosure next to hers to start the mixing process that could result in the park's first ever Kinkaju babies.
That's a good boy.
Don't hold your breath for whirlwind romance. They spend a few days getting used to each other's scent, and then Kat installs a wire mesh between enclosures so they can meet safely.
Carlos has actually just popped his head out, which is actually really nice because it shows that he's really curious.
But before the Kinkajus can be fully introduced, it's vital to know how they get on through the mesh. So she also sets up a camera.
I think that's me more or less there. I've switched the camera on now, but that feels pretty secure. And here's hoping we catch some Kinkaju action.
15 hours later,
Hopefully got something.
Hopefully got some sun.
and it's time for Sam and Kat to check in on the Kinkaju date night.
Oh, there's both of them. Oh, she's really attentive.
Yeah, she is, isn't she? Look at those sniffing through. You can see his wee nose is poking through the mesh. Look at him pulling at it.
He wants his lady friend.
Oh, here she comes.
Ah.
Look.
Oh, they're touching paws. Oh, a little handshake.
I don't know if they were giving each other a high five, but it was, you could see they wanted to make that connection. It's really incredible to see.
Obviously, they've got claws in there, but that doesn't look aggressive or anything.
No, not at all. Not at all.
The footage has given Kat the info she needs to help the pair take the next major step in their courtship.
I think we are going to mix them.
It's a risky move. Kinkajus don't couple up for life. In fact, when they're not mating, they tend to avoid each other, which means there's a chance Carlos could attack Reeva or vice versa. So Kat and Sam are putting in an evening shift as Kinkaju chaperones.
So it's actually tea time. The park has closed, but the magic happens at this time with the Kinkajus. They're probably at their most inquisitive when those lights go off and they become full of life. It does mean that our day kind of extends a little bit, I must admit, but the safety of the animals comes first, so that's what we'll have to do.
These guys have big teeth and sharp claws, and if they really wanted to, they could definitely injure each other. We do expect a little bit of a scuffle. That is to be expected as they meet each other and work out who's in charge, but we're here to just make sure it doesn't become any more than that.
With lights out and the hatch between enclosures open, it's finally time for Carlos and Reeva to come face to face for the park's first ever Kinkaju mixing. But neither seems too bothered.
Carlos has just had a little look and gone back into his bed.
It's like being at a school dance when you have the boys on one side and the girls on the other, and you just don't know who's going to make that first move.
Then, unexpectedly, escape artist Carlos makes a beeline for Reeva's nest box. But she's not feeling the love.
Basically, she just told him off. They look so cute and innocent, but their teeth are just extraordinary and their claws are extraordinary, so I've just popped on some gauntlets if they do need separated.
Carlos and Reeva finally settle down to more or less ignoring each other.
They're quite cautious of each other, but that's to be expected. She's actually coming over to give him a bit of a sniff, which is nice.
But he's just having a really good explore.
Could the park be one step closer to a chilled out Carlos and its first ever Kinkaju babies?
He's just back asleep now.
He's gone to sleep and she's back in her nest box, so it's actually really positive for a very first meeting.
We'll be back later to see if Carlos and Reeva can take their budding romance to the next level.
The park has had more than its fair share of big personalities over the years. They may cause chaos for their keepers, but they earn a special place in our heart, and one of those living legends is Dave the timberwolf. And you can see I have bought him a very special, smelly gift in retirement. Now, Caleb, I have some delicious fish here. You've got vegetables.
Yep, wolves are omnivores, so they will eat literally anything. So fish is their favourite treat, and it's really good for their joints and everything as well because it's quite oily. And obviously in the wild they would eat a lot of fish at certain times of the year, especially timberwolves, and we found that it's their favourite treat. And the veg is more of a garnish.
My tummy's going to start rumbling. This looks like the perfect sort of lunch.
Yeah, we've got apples, carrots, courgettes, broccoli, and some pear as well.
Where are we going to put the meal?
We're just going to place it down here.
Yep. Very good. And then if we just take a few steps back, do you think
hopefully he'll come
he's likely
over
to come in? Dave, he's got the best name. Remind me how Dave got his name.
So he's actually named after David Bowie because he's got two different coloured eyes. So he's got a blue eye and a green eye, and he's just a very distinctive wolf.
And he has a bit of a reputation for being a hellraiser. I mean, he's kept you guys on your toes. He's caused a bit of chaos over the years.
Yeah, he has kept us very busy over the years.
Dave is one of two timberwolves living out a peaceful retirement at Longleat. But in his prime, back in 2017, he was a nightmare for the keepers.
I don't like this, Dave. Don't want to keep doing this.
He'd make daily escape attempts at the gates between the wolves and the lions' enclosures.
Dave waits for cars to come into the section to make his move. He waits for his opportunity. If there's a gap, he's going to take it. And there goes Dave.
We caught Dave on camera, sneaking out past the patrol cars.
He's going down in between the cars because he knows that I can't stop him.
After the European wolves bred and created a larger pack, they were moved into the drive-through and Dave relocated. By then, he'd developed arthritis.
He's 12 now, so that's getting on for a good age for a wolf, and he's starting to slow down a little bit. We give him lots of fish and stuff to help his joints.
And the arthritis, do you see that a little bit in the legs?
You start to see it now and again, especially on a day like today when it's really wet. You might see him struggle a little bit.
And like you were saying, omega-3 in the fish is quite good for joints.
Yeah, lots of omega-3, lots of special treats. Yeah, we just try and look after them as best we can.
Now, even though Dave is away from public viewing, you can see the cars in the background, he's still very popular with the punters here. He's even got his own merchandise, is that right?
Yeah, Dave's got his own merchandise, and we've been told it's the most popular in the park, so they sell more Dave Timberwolf items than anything else.
I love that. Now, he's not sure about coming up to that food. Do you think we're a bit too close?
I think we're a bit too close, yeah. I think if we retreated outside, hopefully he'll come over.
Wolves normally eat anything they can get their teeth into, dead or alive. But Pensioner Dave gets his meals on wheels 3 times a week.
He's just sniffing the ground because he doesn't trust us going in there.
Yep.
And he wants to make sure that there's no traps there for him. And then when he's happy that he's comfortable with the people that are taking the food in, he should then come back and take some.
But I suppose for you guys, it's really important that their last years are very happy and that they're kind of rewarded for all the pleasure they've brought to the visitors over the years.
Definitely, yeah. Working with them, obviously, they've provided us with a lot of joy, a lot of stress and stuff at times, but all the visitors love them. They will stop now if they see them.
Have you got any Dave merchandise? Have you got a Dave duvet cover?
No, I haven't, but I thought you might like some...
No way.
Some merchandise for you.
Look at that. That is going to be pride of place in my wardrobe. Enjoy these moments with Dave. And Dave, thank you for being Dave. Cue David Bowie music.
Moving home can be stressful at the best of times. But if you're a resident at the park, the keepers are always on hand to help you with the packing and to make sure you don't get in too much of a flap. It's all change over in Animal Adventure as the secretary birds are heading for a new home. Happy couple 4-year-old Kevin and 3-year-old Janine have outgrown their residence and are moving to a busier part of town with new neighbours. Fellow birds of prey, the vultures. Keeper Amy is in charge of the relocation.
I think it will be a little bit overwhelming at first, but once they've settled into a new routine and they'll have some familiar sort of fixtures in their enclosure that they have here, once they know the structure and hierarchy in that enclosure, they'll be fine.
This pair have been together for 2 years, and recently they've shown signs that they're ready to breed, so a bigger home is needed. But moving them may not be straightforward. Those legs can dish out a killer kick, as Jean witnessed a couple of years ago.
Oh, right on the head.
So today, the team are leaving nothing to chance, putting on protective goggles and gloves before heading into the enclosure.
OK? Yep. All right. That's it. Oh, careful. We get him down in that corner.
The idea is to catch the birds and put towels and pillowcases over their heads to keep them calm for the journey. But Kevin and Janine are definitely not keen on that approach.
Nearly had him. Nearly had him. They'll get tired in a minute.
It's no mean feat catching a 4-foot-tall, snake-stamping bird with a wingspan of 7 feet.
I know, my boy. That's it. All right, all right. That's it. All right. Good boy, good boy. We've just got Kevin, and that was quite a quick retrieval. So we've just got to go and get his wife now, and I bet she'll be a bit different.
Known for her feisty temperament, Janine isn't likely to come willingly.
Right, young lady, let's get you. Down you go. And she's going to be kicking out a little bit, this one. All right, darling, you go into the bed area. Go on, into the bed. Into the bed, Bubby. Go on, don't go up. Go on. Oh, you're all right, Nick. Yeah, she's trying to go for you. Get off of there. Come on. Did she get you? All right, calm down.
Finally, Janine stops flapping about
Well done, Nick, well done. All right.
and throws in the towel.
Wing in.
Wing in. Both got.
Their new home is just a mile up the road, but Kevin and Janine won't be fraternising with their new neighbours straight away. They're staying in an annex to give them time to adjust.
Obviously, it's stressful for them at the moment because they're in a new enclosure that they're not used to. They're not sure of where they are or what's happening. It'll take a day or two for them to kind of chill out.
Once they're settled, Kevin and Janine will be let out into the large aviary to mix with the locals. But will they be the nightmare neighbours next door? We'll find out later.
The keepers on the park love to give the animals all kinds of enrichment, and I thought I'd seen it all until Rachel turned up with this. Explain this one, Rachel.
So this is George the giraffe. Came up with the idea, a group of us were looking at a photo of a lion taking down a giraffe, and we just thought, let's make one and see what happens.
How long did it take you to make this?
20 hours in total.
Wow. Well, A+ on this project. Now, we've got a bit of an extra incentive for the lions to come over, a little bit of meat in the back here, so I'll load this up. And let's have a prediction, Rachel. How many seconds do you think George is going to last?
I think he'll get knocked over in a couple, and then I say 10 seconds after that, it will be gone. The girls take it down first, and then the males would come, which they would do in the wild. The females hunt, the males take down the big prey.
So what you want to see is natural behaviours. You want to see them approach this giraffe the way they would a giraffe in the wild.
Yeah, I think they might be a bit cautious to begin with, some of them, but some of them I think will just be like straight in and knock over.
Well, I'm excited. I can't wait to see what they do, but I think it's time to say our last goodbyes to George.
Goodbye, George.
Be nice knowing you, George. Oh, Rachel, look, you look so vulnerable.
You look so small there.
Shall we get the lions out?
Definitely.
Yeah, let's go for it.
To second house, you can let the lions out. Oh, here they come.
Oh, here they come.
So you got the girls first.
Right, 3 of the girls.
Oh, you got Enzy, he's the one who's sniffing it the closest.
Right, okay. I'm scared for George, Rachel.
There you go.
Oh, who took him down there?
That was little Jazz. She's one of the oldest ones. And then this is Jazeera, another one of the oldest ones.
They are tearing him to pieces.
Boys even haven't got a look in yet.
They tore his head off. Oh. Completely dismembered him.
See, I think by the looks of it, little Jazz just completely dominated it. She's literally just sat on top of the body there. But she's one of the oldest in the group, so she's literally just on there saying, this is mine. Oh, and here comes Simba. Oh.
Can you hear that? Everything kind of just kicked off there.
It is exactly what I wanted to see, because you could see the hierarchy of it. So the older ones went straight in there, the boys, Simba's making himself known that he is
I can hear him.
No, he is just being like, this is mine.
And it's those natural instincts of keeping the animal down, because of course if the giraffe was still alive, there's a chance it could get away, but there's no chance with this lot. It's important for you guys to do this type of enrichment, isn't it?
It is, it's like a bit different for them, and also it's one of those, sometimes you've got to keep in check with the hierarchy, so sometimes if one of them tries to become a bit dominant, it can completely throw off the group, and so it is important.
So are you happy with the roles that everyone played in this?
Yeah, it was like I predicted. The ones I thought would come first did, and then I knew one of the boys would come in, and he's not even eating anything, but he is showing like that is his. If one of the lower ranking girls in there went over to him, he might smack him, but little Jazz is one of his favourites, so.
Oh, wow. I mean, that was right on cue. Little Jazz just took it a little bit too far with Simba there, and he went for her.
He did. And It happens. We don't want them fighting, but that was nothing really.
Rachel, you're so calm. I'm stood here shaking watching lions. It just feels like a real kill, and hearing those noises as well. You know, I've been coming here for years and watching the lions, and at times they look so cute and cuddly, but that has reminded me that they're ferocious, they're powerful, but magnificent. I loved seeing that, but poor George.
They didn't last very long, but we predicted that. And I'm not making another one.
If any of you have got a pet at home, a dog or a cat or a guinea pig, you know that if you need to give them, I don't know, a worm pill or some sort of treatment, it can be a bit of a palaver, can't it? But imagine if what you were trying to treat was the size of Rosina here. Good morning. She says, I'm not talking to you. Morning, Tom.
Morning, Kate.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Very well, thank you. A bit better than Rosina, who seems a little bit feisty.
I think she's woke up on the wrong side of the bed this morning, Rosina.
Despite her size and current grumpiness, 20-year-old southern white rhino Rosina is really just a big softie, and she's one of 3 very special girls taking part in an international breeding programme with a difference. In 2017, they donated 9 eggs to try and help save their relatives, the northern white rhinos, from extinction. And there's a chance they might have more fertility treatment. So it's vital they stay in good health and are comfortable with close contact medical checks.
We call it conditioning, so it's kind of like desensitization, really.
Right.
So when we do all these medical procedures,
It
it's nothing to
feels
worry
normal.
about. Exactly that, yeah. You ready, Raz? Good girl, Raz.
Are they like us? Do they have sort of slightly stroppy days?
100%, yeah.
Do they?
It's literally exactly like us. They can just wake up and they're just not feeling it that day.
Yeah.
It's a common thing to say, it's 2 tons of no. It's not happening.
I love that idea. So this contraption that she's in now, what's this?
So this is called a crush.
Doesn't sound very friendly.
It doesn't, no. So this is, we can get close to the rhinos.
Right.
So we can give them a thorough health check and get a really close look at everything, make sure everything's all okay. So what we do is we're checking out for the eyes, making sure the eyes are nice and bright. We check the nose, the nostrils here.
Let's have a look at your nose, Rosina. Now, it's a little bit runny. Is that normal?
That is normal, yeah. So we're in the summer at the moment. They do get a wet nose.
Yeah.
If you found there was any like thick discharge or any different colours, that would then be something that you'd want to worry about.
Yeah.
Check the ears as well. Make sure there's no blockages again in the ears. They look nice and healthy and it's moving fine.
Yeah.
And then the important one, which is sometimes the more difficult one, is then their skin.
Yeah.
They are susceptible to bites. So rub your hands over just to make sure there's no sensitive areas that she's not liking.
So is she now OK to go out?
I think she's good to go. Yeah, toenails look absolutely fine. Her bum's nice and clean, so I think she's good to go.
Lovely. You've got a clean bill of health, Rosina. Off you go, then.
Good girl, Rez.
It's a simple process, but handling the rhinos in the crush every day means they'll be calm and confident in the space next time they have to go through a fertility procedure.
If we made this experience negative, years of hard work, previous hours spent daily doing this would backtrack us.
Yeah. Females like Rosina could donate eggs for at least another decade, so it's essential to keep her healthy and calm, not just for herself and her own kind, but for the whole future of the northern white rhino too.
A few months on from their first meeting, and Kinkaju's Carlos and Reeva are the best of buddies, and have moved from the isolation area where they first met back to his shady enclosure in the back cave. And the good news doesn't stop there.
Reeva's actually pregnant, so she's showing all the right signs. She is eating a lot more during the night time especially, and also her nipples are visible now and she's licking a lot. And she's got a little pouch, so it is really showing us that she's nearing the time that she's about to give birth. She's chosen this as her nest area, so we're just hoping for one healthy baby would be really nice.
Kinkaju pregnancies usually last between 16 and 17 weeks, and the newborns weigh about 150 grams.
Hello, come say hello.
Reeva will be the first Kinkaju to have a baby at the park. and keeper Georgia doesn't want to miss this massive moment. So she's had a camera installed to record the birth.
Let's see if it works.
But Reeva spent the last few months with Carlos, and his troublesome ways have rubbed off.
Came in this morning, and this is what I found. So a rather damaged camera. She's just damaged it within half an hour to 45 minutes and didn't really catch anything. So our plan to capture the birth unfortunately has failed. I'm not surprised at all.
Mischief and mayhem are par for the course with the cheeky Kinkajus. But Reeva's wrecking job on the camera may be protective rather than playful. Just a few days later, and the park's got something to celebrate.
We had a little baby Kinkaju. Left it a couple of days just to let mum and baby settle in. It's really vocal and mum's looking after it, so we want to check that it's a good healthy weight and that the feeding is going to plan.
Mum and baby are in a nest, with impish Carlos in the enclosure next door. Although dads don't pose a threat to little ones, this is an unusual setup.
In the wild, they're solitary animals. They'd come together for breeding, then they'd be separate. Normally, the male wouldn't be staying around for a baby being there. So a little bit nervous at the beginning, but it's working perfectly fine for us at the moment.
Like all baby Kinkajus, the new addition is still blind and deaf and totally dependent on mum.
Hey, Mama. Go wake up for some banana.
Georgia's hoping that by tempting mum Reeva with her favourite treat, she'll be able to catch her first glimpse of the exciting new addition.
How is your little one? You being a good mummy? Oh my God, it's attached to her tail. Oh my God, that's the cutest thing ever.
Hungry as she is, mum Reeva's not about to let anything get between her and her baba.
Let me see it, are you? She's made a really nice deep bed, so it's very difficult to see the little one. But you can hear it.
Georgia hasn't managed to weigh the baby, but she's seen enough for now to put her mind at rest.
Really, really buzzing. It's so nice to be able to share that with everyone, that we've seen it. We know it's looking really healthy. It sounds healthy. Mum's doing a really good job. She's been really tentative, making sure it's really safe, which we couldn't ask for more, really.
So far, so good. But the first few days of life are crucial for such a vulnerable newborn, and mum and baby may not be out of the woods just yet.
Earlier, Keeper Tom showed me some of the daily health checks they carry out on the 3 female rhinos in preparation for future fertility treatment. To make sure the rhinos enjoy this process rather than fearing it, Tom regularly gives them a post-checkup treat. And what better way to pamper these ladies than with an indulgent aromatherapy session?
So, Tom, you've given me a beautiful, fragrant mix of things in this bucket.
So what we do with these guys, we do some scent enrichment.
Right.
So it keeps their brain nice and healthy and ticking over.
Yeah.
Gives them something to do, give them some new logs to play with, some new herbs, and yeah, just let them have a bit of fun with it, really.
So all of these, I'm going to pick out that one, which has got, oh, actually, that's a lovely sort of slightly perfumey smell. What's that?
So that's yarrow, that one. It's meant to be good for menstrual cramps and calming, really.
Calming. So if you're feeling a little bit kind of female and hormonal, which never happens, obviously, this is a good one.
That should be the perfect one to do for these guys, yeah. So what we do is we rub it against the bark, against the logs.
Oh, OK.
And just let the natural oils and smells come out onto the logs. Anywhere you like, as rough as you like.
Parsley, sage, rosemary and thyme.
So all herbs that we grow here on site.
Yeah.
And these 4 are definitely their favourite that we're going to do today.
Oh, really?
So yeah, we should see some good reactions, hopefully.
So this one, I recognise, lavender. Now, I would think lavender is something that you use if you need to get to sleep. What do the rhinos use
Yes,
it for?
it's very similar to that, so it is a nice and calming smell.
Right.
Keeps them nice and relaxed. You can definitely get some interest already.
Oh, look at this. Who's this coming over?
So this is a boon.
Hello, a boon. Are you feeling in need of calming? Are you? Hello. Hello, girl. How are you this morning? Well, you look very calm. It's obviously working beautifully. Aww. It seems an odd thing to do, to kind of rub herbs on a log and call it enrichment, but how does it enrich them?
So, funnily enough, the part of their brain that's actually the biggest and the largest is actually what they use for their scent. In the wild, they would come across lots and lots of different smells. Trying to replicate that here as much as possible.
What is that?
So that's clary sage, that one.
Right.
So these guys absolutely love clary sage. Probably say that's one of their favourites.
Right. Not sure my rubbing technique is impressing them very much. They seem more interested in the scent of their hay.
Yeah, loving a bit of breakfast.
But will this scent last for the rest of the day, as if you've got a nose like a rhino?
Yeah, it's where they've got such great smell, they can keep coming back to it. You see them, they have a little sniff.
What a lovely job to do in the morning. Thank you very much indeed, Tom. And girls, you know, when you're ready, it's all here. The aromatherapy bar is open.
Back to the vulture aviary, where new residents, the secretary birds, have finally met the neighbours. Kevin and Janine had never been housed with other birds before, so keeper Emma was concerned that they wouldn't all get on.
One of the worries that we did have is maybe the secretary birds would come in and sort of maybe take over, because obviously they'd never seen vultures before, they'd been in this aviary. And there was a tiny bit of aggression at first, but now it's completely died down. They've got used to each other. Janine definitely wears the trousers in this relationship. Whenever we put food down, she's always the first one to go. Anytime we put anything new in the aviary, she's the first one to check it out. Kevin's actually quite shy. He tends to kind of stay to the back.
It's hoped that by being in a bigger aviary, Kevin and Janine will start a family. And Emma's been giving them a nudge in the right direction, supplying them with some nest-building material.
I got some stickies for you. Hi, Janine. She's watching because the nest is just there. So yeah, so Janine's just walking around and Kevin, as you can see, is following her. This is quite a typical behaviour that we've noticed. He does seem to follow her. We're not sure whether that's just kind of breeding and he's trying to, you know, keep an eye on his lady, or it's just him. He is quite a timid bird. Is he under the thumb? I would say he's slightly under the thumb, yeah. I mean, she is a gorgeous bird as well, so he definitely wouldn't want to lose her.
You certainly wouldn't, especially when she's clearly in the mood for love.
So just on the left of me here, up here on this tree up here, this is actually where they're nesting. So they do nest off the ground. Obviously, if they're in their normal native eastern sub-Saharan Africa, if they were to nest on the ground, it's more likely their chicks would get taken. But yeah, it's a really nice nest spot. It's nice and clear for us to be able to see as well, which means it's easy for us to monitor. And they seem really happy there.
With their nest ready, all they need now is an egg or two. But while lovebird Kevin seems keen, can feisty Janine be persuaded to calm her ways and start the journey to motherhood?
What are they up to?
I've come down to Animal Adventure to help James sex some scorpions. Now, why does that sound dangerous to me, James?
There is almost no danger at all. These guys are like puppy dogs.
They are nothing like puppy dogs.
Yeah, they're like terrifying-looking puppy dogs. With scorpions, it's all about looking at the tail in comparison to the claws. If the claws are thin and small in comparison to a very chunky-looking tail, then maybe keep your distance. But these guys, it would be like a bee sting. But you'll get over it.
I'm going to let you do this, OK?
OK. There we go, here.
What breed are these?
So these are emperor scorpions, one of the largest species of scorpions, and you find them throughout Africa, really.
Why do you need to know whether they're male or female? Will you separate them off according to sex?
So these guys have actually entered a breeding program here at the park. So we just need to have a rough idea of what we've got in here. We're keeping them all in a communal setup. So that should mean that they will just start pumping out babies when they're ready.
Right, so we're going to lift them up, have a look underneath, and what are we looking for?
So we're looking for a sort of structure. It looks very similar to a comb, and they're called the pectines. Males have large pectines with long sort of teeth on them, whereas females have slightly smaller with smaller pectines.
Right, so large pectine boys, small pectine girl.
You got it.
Got it.
Boys who like boys, who like boys, who big girls, who dig boys.
We'll go for the big one first. I'm going to pop it in the pot here and we'll look underneath. Okay.
Right.
I'm going to say that is a male.
Based on...
So the pectines are quite long.
Ah, I see the pectines, yeah.
Long sort of teeth on them. And then this little covering just up here, it's sort of round rather than having sort of a notch on it. A notch would indicate there was a female.
Okay.
So I would say with a large degree of confidence, that's a male.
We have a boy.
A boy.
Okay. That looks pretty same as the last one to me.
I would say that is a female. It's fairly hard to see, but there is a little notch just in the covering
And you
there.
said notch indicates female.
Yes.
Okay.
The teeth are fairly small. So yeah, I'm going to say female on that one.
Okay, so one of each.
One of each,
That's
which
good.
is good for a breeding program.
Yeah.
I would really like another female. What do you think?
I think female.
You know what? I would probably go on female with that as well. Yeah. She's still quite young, and she's very close to molting. And the way that we know that is just by looking at how spread out those individual sort of plates are.
Yeah, and she's almost translucent in places. Yeah.
So that is her new exoskeleton pushing against her original one. So eventually she'll basically just pop the hood of her old skin and just walk on out.
Doing this is kind of taking the sting out of their tail. They really are interesting invertebrates and exciting to be part of the breeding program. And now I can say I can sex a scorpion.
Well, there's not many people that can say that.
We've been following the house move of Kevin and Janine, the secretary birds, and I've been called up to join Amy because there's been some excellent news. Amy, tell me what's happened.
So the other day, one of my keepers went in and was doing a bit of maintenance work, and we spotted an egg.
No way. One egg? More than one?
One egg. We are expecting only one egg because it's their first time laying an egg. But brilliant news.
How exciting. So whereabouts is the egg? I know we're staying out here on purpose because we don't want to disturb them.
So it's just in this tree, just behind us.
Yep.
So she is hunkered down in there.
So Janine is sitting on the nest
Yeah,
right now.
currently. They do take it in turns. The female does most of the work, but we have spotted Kevin on it as well. So they're both taking turns in it. So fingers crossed, we'll have a chick.
So how long is the gestation period?
So it's around 45 days, so quite a long time.
And are you going to have to do any incubation of yourself?
We're hoping not. We're hoping just to leave them there the whole time. Even if they do give up on it, it's still a good experience for them. This is their first breeding season, so yeah, we're hoping it will go well.
And they're obviously both hiding from us right now. One hopefully on the egg and the other patrolling.
Yeah, so he's probably going off to find some more sticks, some more nesting materials, just make it really nice for her. And I think she is still hunkered down in there.
Well, I'm glad we got a tiny glimpse of her. It shows at least that she's doing her job properly.
Yeah, it does.
Well, Amy, congratulations. We'll, of course, keep you posted on the progress of the secretary bird and the egg.
In Animal Adventure, keepers have got an emergency on their hands. A week ago, Reeva gave birth to the park's first ever baby Kinkaju in a dark corner of the back cave. Even though Mum was too protective to let keepers close enough to weigh the little one,
Oh my God, it's carrying it around with her tail.
all seemed well in the Kinkaju nest.
We've got a really good look at the baby. Looks really fit and healthy.
But today, something's gone seriously wrong.
One of the keepers called me up this morning, a little bit concerned that the baby wasn't really making any noise, just really couldn't see much movement, so we got the bosses down.
The baby Kinkaju's gone downhill, and bosses Graham and Kat have joined keeper Georgia to check him over.
Once we weighed it, unfortunately it was only 100 grams, so ideal birth weight's 150 to 200 grams.
It's not good news. At a week old, the babe is 50 grams lighter than a newborn and is barely clinging to life.
So basically, still breathing, just. She's been a good mum, she's been with it. It's been making noise, which is good. However, has she not producing enough milk? Is it just not eating enough? Is there something else wrong with it? The vet's just advised to get some fluids into it straight away.
But just as Graham attempts to revive the failing infant,
I think he's gone, sadly.
the tiny little scrap slips away.
Unfortunately, it's a bit of a sad time. Until we get the post-mortem results back from the baby to see what was going on inside, or if it didn't have its first milk, or if its lungs didn't open properly, and a whole range of things that could go wrong with young animals.
The baby was a little miracle, and that makes the loss especially hard to bear.
As keepers, we should always have it in the back of the mind that something can go wrong, and it was her first, and she's really young. Yeah, she's... We've just got to look after Mum now and make sure she's okay. It's really distressing because she'll be really distressed right now, and she's calling out because she's not understood where her baby's gone. Yeah, really hard. Really, really hard.
It's a devastating moment, but while Reeva and Carlos remain healthy, the hope for future Kinkaju generations lives on at the park.
Look at this, I love it here. Do you remember the days before the watering hole?
Oh, barely. I mean, it must have been built about, is it 15 years ago?
Give or take. And look at it now, it's part of the furniture.
It really is. And as you can see, I mean, the giraffes love it here. And I think it's one of my favourite things is coming down here as they all gather around the waterhole at the end of the day, legs splayed, drinking. I mean, you could imagine that you're in Africa, really, couldn't you?
I feel at home here.
That's because you've got delusions of grandeur. Enough soppiness, Fogel. Here's what's coming up on the next Animal Park.
The macaws are feeling chatty.
Goodbye.
Hello. Yes! The lions get leery.
When they're in this sort of mood, it makes me really nervous. They are confident in challenging us and pushing us around.
And how can love blossom?
I want baby pandas. I don't think there's any other cuter animal in the world.
When this troublemaker's going solo at the top of a tree.